Well, hello, friends, and welcome to the $1 Million Message. This is National Sales Director Kristin Sharpe coming in from my home in Gainesville, Georgia. And happy 2021. Oh, my goodness. Well, I just realized that this is my first message that I have recorded in this new year. And I thought, oh, my gosh, I bet some of you have maybe not done your year-end tax checklist. And so I thought today it would be appropriate to walk you through this. Now, please note, I'm not giving you tax advice on this call because I'm not a tax accountant. But I will tell you, because of the training and the mentorship of my mom, Senior NSD Connie Kitson, I am a master at bookkeeping, and I am a master at documentation to get the full deductions of my qualified home-based business of Mary Kay. And I know many of you joined Mary Kay because you wanted to take advantage of those tax deductions. Many of you, between you and your husband, are in a high tax bracket, and you need more deductions to be able to keep more of the money that you earned. And so I want you to know that one of the best things, one of the biggest blessings of my Mary Kay business has been the tax deductions. But no documentation, no deductions. And that's something that my mom, Senior NSD Emeritus Connie Kitson, I feel like she pounded it in my head. But I will tell you, she is a master at money management. Her proof is the life that she lives now. And I'm so grateful for her influence. So as you're listening to this, I don't want you to feel bad if you're like, oh, dear, I've been in Mary Kay for so many years and I've never done this. Or you're a new consultant and this is the first time you've ever been hearing this training. I want you to say, hey, it's okay. I'm going to start now. So because this is something that's based on the closing of 2020, I want you to take yourself back 7 days. Now, I realize if you're like, oh, dear, I haven't done anything on this checklist, I think because it's only been 7 days, it's pretty easy to take yourself back to December 31st. I know for me, I don't really drive that much in my car, so I can kind of figure out my mileage if I needed to. I know the sales that I've already had in this new year. So, again, just know we are basing this checklist on where you were as of December 31st, okay? Also know that this quick checklist, okay, don't get nervous. Don't hang up. It's only 5 steps, okay? And I want you to take notes, but I also want you to know that you can find this tax checklist that really, you guys, I will say has just evolved over the years. It was something my mom originally created, oh my goodness, I think 20 years ago. And part of the reason my mom was just so excited about documenting and bookkeeping and keeping more of her money is because Mary Kay was my mom's sole source of income. She was a single mom, and she raised me and my brother just on Mary Kay. And so she had to be a smart businesswoman. So she started these practices, oh my goodness. I mean, this is all I've known since my 14 years in Mary Kay, and I know she did it before I even joined. So this tax checklist has evolved every year as things in our company have changed a little bit, as well as the deductions have changed. But she was the originator of it. Now, I will tell you that this tax checklist was a combined effort with my dear friend Leanne David. And Leanne was an accountant before she was a sales director in Mary Kay. Her husband has a master's in tax, and she's one class away from getting her master's in tax. But while going to college, she found Mary Kay and so made the transition over. So, again, we're not teaching you tax tips here. We're just teaching you bookkeeping tips, okay? So just wanted to kind of put that disclaimer out there. But you can find this tax checklist on my Kristin Sharpe NSD Facebook page, on my personal Facebook page, and on my Instagram, which is Mrs. K Sharpe, if you actually want the checklist or want to share it with some team members. So again, it's 5 important things that you can do at year end to be a smart businesswoman and be prepared for tax time. Because remember, no documentation, no deduction. Okay, so the first thing is you want to do a roll-up bag refresh. A roll-up bag refresh. And this is on your demo roll-up bag as well as your personal roll-up bag. So go through your starter kit to refresh and restock any items that you're running low on or that you wish to start demonstrating at your parties, whether they're in-person parties or virtual parties. you guys, you want your products looking good. So if that cleanser's looking a little like flat because there's no product, or the oil-free eye makeup remover is getting low, you guys, you want to swap those out. And you want to make a list of these and any other items that you used during the year, because these items are your demo items, and demo items are tax deductible. So you want to refresh and restock also your own personal travel roll-up bag. And you've probably heard this before, but be sure to use Mary Kay from head to toe. I will tell you, the more I used the products, the more I sold. And as I diversified everything from my supplements to eye colors that I used and eyeliners, you guys, I was able to tell people so much more authentically about the products, and as a result, I sold more. So make sure to list out all of the items that you've used for yourself during the year, and you want to label those personal use items. You see, although personal use isn't necessarily tax deductible, you must report this number to your accountant. So let me tell you how I do this. So, for example, I had a night cream and an oil-free eye makeup remover that were just a little low than I wanted in my demo roll-up bag. And so I actually took those two products and I put them in my personal bathroom. And then I got out two new products and put those in my demo roll-up bag. So I got the full deduction. So I don't know if your bathroom looks like mine, but I might have like 5 or 6 oil-free eye makeup removers that are like each like have a fourth left in them that are in my bathroom. Sometimes my husband complains. He's like, I never get new products. You always give me like your half-used demos. And I'm like, I know, because I want to get the full deduction of really the demo products. So, of course, there's certain things that I use personally that are not demos, but I really do try to do it that way so I get the max out on my deductions. Okay, number 2, you want to count your Section 1 inventory. Section 1 inventory, and this is as of December 31st. So if you've ordered products already in January and you've already labeled them and put them out on your shelf, take a look at those order sheets and make sure that you don't count those in your ending inventory for December 31st. But really, the easiest way to do this is to start an order on InTouch. And as you count things on your shelf, add them to the order. And instead of placing the order on InTouch, okay, just print the order. And what it does is your wholesale value will automatically be calculated and printed at the top. So you don't need to include any Section 2 items like samplers or anything like that. But for products on your shelf that are available to order from the company, okay, you want to make a list of each item and its wholesale cost. So before I learned the trick from my mom of putting this into InTouch, oh my gosh, it could be very tedious. But what I like to do is I literally just take the current order form and do little tallies on it, and then I just go and put it into InTouch because that works easiest for me, partly because my product closet is in the hallway and my computer is in a different room. But whatever is easiest to you. The whole thing is don't try to do the math yourself, okay? Enter it into Mary Kay InTouch. Just don't press submit and order the products, right? Okay, so when you do this, you guys, for products that are on your shelf that are not available to order from the company, so they're not on the current order form, right? You want to make a list of each item and its wholesale cost, because this is going to be categorized as a discontinued item. And discontinued items can be written off on your tax return. So again, if it's not on the current order form, then it's considered a discontinued item and it can be a write-off. All right, number 3, you want to take a photo of your odometers on all the cars that you had available for use with your Mary Kay business. So for example, if your husband make some deliveries, or let's say maybe you drove to a Mary Kay event in a car that was not yours, that maybe was, your son's or your husband's or whatever the case may be, you want to be tracking the mileage and having an odometer reading. And the perk of doing this is sometimes when you have multiple vehicles in a home, you can get a lot of deductions with the mileage because you're never going to use your car exclusively just for Mary Kay. So that might be the case. You might be single, or you might not ever you have your husband deliver products or run a Mary Kay errand for you. But if you do, it can actually be a benefit to you. So the key thing is, though, is you want to take a photo of the odometer so you know your ending mileage, because your ending mileage for December 31st is your beginning mileage for this new year, okay? And just so you know, it did come out that in 2021, you get to deduct 56 cents per mile in this new year, 2021, okay? All right, number 4, you want to take a photo of your home office space. So what you're going to do is you're going to measure the square footage of the space, and this doesn't have to necessarily be like a separate room, but it does need to be exclusively used for your business, okay? So, for example, if you're using a guest bedroom for your office, do not take a picture of the daybed in the guest room, right? That can be an immediate, wait, okay, this does not look like an office. So you want to measure the square footage exclusively for your Mary Kay business. Now, I have a lot of consultants that live in a townhome, smaller spaces. So they might use an entire closet or an underneath space underneath their stairs to store some Mary Kay products, and then a small corner in their dining room. Again, that is space that's exclusively used for Mary Kay. So that is a deduction, which is awesome. So here's why it's important to have pictures and to have this documented. If you move or if you do get audited, a lot of times they're not auditing you for the current year. It could have been 2 or 3 years ago. And if you don't have that documentation or you still don't live in that same place, it can get a little tricky. So knowing that I moved this past year, I have all the stuff from my previous home that I lived in for a long time, and I've had to do a lot of the measurements of the new space that I'm operating my business out of, okay? I take that picture and I save it in my phone. I print it with my tax receipts, the square footage and the pictures and the odometer. And you guys, I also write it in my date book or, remind myself where I kept it, because sometimes if you're like me, more of a high I personality, sometimes you lose things. And so I have to set little reminders of where I keep this stuff, okay? All right, next. You want to file all of your receipts. And these are receipts that you use specifically for Mary Kay purchases. And it also, there's lots of deductions, things like, a portion of your light bill, a portion of your cell phone bill, a portion of your rent or your mortgage can be written off. But it is based, of course, on, for example, your mortgage or your rent is based on the percentage of your home you use for your Mary Kay business. So your accountant will help you with that. But what I don't want you to do is take this huge box of receipts and bring it to your accountant. It's going to be an expensive bill. So I love using an accordion pocket filing system. It's not anything crazy. I get the labels from a website. It's called fuelmp.com. And the labels go right along with the different categories on our Schedule C with Mary Kay. And it's awesome because the external file folder I got, I think at Office Max or Office Depot. Maybe this last one I actually ordered on Amazon. But a label just goes on every pocket, and you have a slot for each income and expense category on your tax return. So what it does is it helps you sort your receipts and your important documents into an appropriate slot. And then at the end of the year, all you have to do is add up each slot. And I know there's lots of accounting programs out there and things that you can do, but this just seems like the simple and the easiest way, and the way I've done it for years, and it's been so slick. Now, the key thing is I don't get a new expandable file folder. Y'all, I just, that's my file folder for 2020, and then I have one for 2021. I have them all the way back from the beginning of my business. And that way I don't dump out all the receipts. They all just stay organized, perhaps just in case I need to refer back to them, or worst case scenario, I get audited, okay? Which I haven't been, but I have it, and I'm organized is my point there. So Again, to review, here are the 5 year-end tax checklist items. Number 1, do a roll-up bag refresh. Number 2, count your Section 1 inventory. Number 3, take a photo of the odometers of the cars that you use for your Mary Kay. Number 4, take a photo of your home office space. And number 5, make sure you have filed all of your receipts. So, you guys, you're going to be so happy that you took the time to have a system in place to make sure that you are maxing out the deductions for your Mary Kay business. You're able to keep more of the money that you earned, and it makes you a smart businesswoman. So again, this tax checklist, you guys, you can find on my personal Kristin Sharpe NSD Facebook page, my personal Kristin Sharpe Facebook page, or my Mrs. K. Sharpe Instagram page. I pray this is a blessing. And I also hope it gives you an idea of how you can start off 2021 having the systems in place to also maximize your deductions. All right. Happy New Year.